Hello everybody, NnS Clan here, and I'm bringing you a 2v2 online battle that me and NnS Clan did. We decided to try out the new Massalia faction, in which I find to be, like, excellent, but he wasn't too much of a fan. But our army compositions are, let's pause it, I have 2 units of hoplites, 5 units of thorax swordsmen, and 5 units of axe warriors, and 2 Epais lancers and 2 Massalian cav, and a singular unit of mercenary Gallic hunters. Daniel's build is 3 hoplites and 2 Massalian hoplites with 6 thorax swordsmen and 3 mercenary Gallic hunters with a Epais lancers general bodyguard and 2 citizen cav. Our opponents, on the other hand, went with a rather elite infantry build. The Seleucid brought 4 Silver Shield Pikemen and 4 Silver Shield Swordsmen, and 2 Syrian Heavy Archers and 1 Persian Light Archer. The Carthaginian brought 4 Libyan Peltasts, 2 Sacred Band, 2 Mercenary Noble Fighters, 3 Mercenary Italian Swordsmen with 1 Bronze Chevron, 1 Noble Cav, actually 2 Noble Cav, and 2 Carthaginian Cav. So, in my personal opinion, the builds of our enemies were not very good. Just because of the fact that we outnumber them pretty well as far as units, like how many units we have. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really important to bring elite units, but not entire armies built of them, because it's really not exactly the most efficient way to build an army in a large funds battle. So let's go ahead and fast forward here. Okay, the lag is real. Anyway, let's go ahead and fast forward. So Taniwa just decided that he wanted to advance really quickly, and I noticed that, and eventually here I'll start advancing forward myself. Yep, there I go. So my plan was to hopefully get a charge on his noble fighters, because those guys are absolutely deadly if you let them have the charge. So hopefully, I was hoping I could get like a charge on them. And his Sacred Band, I knew he wasn't going to do much with you, so I wasn't too concerned about the Sacred Band. The mercenary Italian swordsmen, they aren't exactly the best infantry in the game. They're pretty good for holding the lines, but other than that, they're just going to lose. The Noble Cav, well, in my I think he outdid me in the Cav department, because Carthaginian Cav, I think, would beat Massalian Cav in a head-to-head fight, and I think Noble Cav is better than Epais Lancers, I think. So he's slowly advancing his Sacred Band, and over here with Taniwa, he's sending his Gallic Hunters around the flanks along with his Citizen Cav. He's really putting pressure on his flanks with the Citizen Cav there. I attempt to bring in a unit of hoplites to assist the Cav fight that he engaged me, but I ended up only losing 4 and getting 14 kills, which is pretty good. These Epais Lancers are just sitting there. Eventually I'll give them orders too. So I'm just going to have a stare down with my opponent for a little bit, just to think about what I'm going to do. Taniwa is advancing. He's shooting the Silver Shield Pikemen and not doing much damage. They do have quite a bit of armor. So my opponent here is advancing his Libyan Peltas. Now, what Taniwa suggested to me was he thought my opponent would be bad enough to, like, I could just charge his Libyan Peltas and get a bunch of kills on them, but that turns out that wasn't the case. He was pretty good at microing his units. I get some free shots on his Libyan Peltasts here with my Mercenary Gallic Warriors. It actually does quite a bit of damage for one volley on Peltas. I get 15 kills. And I'm just going to slowly whittle down that unit Peltas. Then he decides that he just had enough, so he's advancing his Libyan Peltas to maybe get some shots. So it would appear that Taniwa here is going to pin down the front lines with hoplites and then move around with his infantry. Those Silver Shield pikemen are actually taking quite a bit of damage over time after focused fire of the mercenary Gallic hunters. Those heavy archers are also having focused fire on them as well. Over here, with my Hippeus Lancers, I feint charged those Peltas just to keep them from firing for just a little bit longer. This ended up costing me, but I think it was worth it just because it keeps me from losing some of my infantry. So he tries to charge the Hippeus Lancers with his Sacred Band, doesn't catch them, unfortunately. I end up losing like 20 units from that feint charge from my Hippeus Lancers. So this is where I advance the Thorax Swordsman that I have. And the plan is to move the Mercenary Axe Warriors around and to get flank charges. Taniwa over here is getting around the opponent. He's going to throw Pila at the Silver Shield pikemen, or he already did that. It only killed like one pike. Interesting. This Silver Shield pikeman is pretty much gone. And over here, I've started the fight. So I believe I did successfully get the charge on these noble fighters, but as you can see, my Thorax Swordsmen are just getting destroyed. The noble fighters are just so good. Probably some of the best swords unit in the game. Now, I saw this happening where he would put his Peltas here and shoot into the backs of my men, so I needed to do something about that immediately. So I'm moving Hoplites and the Thorax Swordsmen and Axe Warriors around the flanks. Over here, there's a big cluster of a cab fight. I engaged some Hoplites with the mercenary Italian swordsmen because I saw them as a threat to the Hippeus Lancers that attack these Peltasts. Here I get a good rear charge with my Thorax Swordsman, and it's causing some Italian swordsmen to rout almost like instantly. But throughout the battle, these Italian swordsmen actually do hold for quite a while. So I realized that the Hippeus Lancers were actually losing to these Peltasts, and I pulled them out. I found that to be quite interesting. Now my opponent, I don't think he noticed this. Well, he noticed it. But I was going to get a free charge on his General's bodyguard there. Now here, he just never noticed this. I have Hoplites attacking. Eventually, yes, I do take my units off of formation attack. So they take them out a little faster. Now the Hoplites are doing okay against the mercenary Italian swordsmen, but they don't exactly do the greatest. Now right here I pretty much have his men surrounded from almost all angles, and my mercenary Gallic archers are out of ammunition. I kept my general back because I mistakenly made him a Massalian Cav. I wanted it to be a Hippeus Lancer, but I was keeping him back because I knew he'd be destroyed if I engaged him. Here I took off my formation attack, and the Cav is just going down like pizza at a party of 5,000. I don't know. That was terrible. Okay. So I get a charge in as general with the Axe Warriors, because Shot Cav can't really do much to any form of infantry in a head-on encounter. So this is where his general pretty much just goes goodbye. He's using Libyan Peltas here to hold his line, which is not exactly the greatest idea. His Sacred Band is doing actually some pretty funny stuff here. I think I pulled these guys out so I could get another charge in. Now over here, Taniwa's got this under control pretty well. He's going to get some charges in on these Silver Shield pikemen. He's got the Silver Shield swordsman engaged with his Thorax. He got a rear charge in with Hippeus Lances on the Silver Shield swordsman. These pikes are wavering, and I don't think he noticed, but he pretty much frontally engaged these Silver Shield pikemen with his Hoplites and his Cava. Anyway, over here, I'm getting another rear charge in with my Axe Warriors. The Libyan Peltas are being engaged by Axe Warriors as well. I personally think the Axe Warriors are actually great units because just the price and how good they do their price efficiency, whatever it's called. Now here is a microing error. As you can see, there's a two Hippeus Lances facing off a Noble Cav, and there I just realized. So I probably actually could have saved a whole bunch of men if I noticed that. Here I get a rear charge in with my Massalian Cav General, which ends up wrapping that fight up. And over here, the mercenary noble fighters already paid for themselves and got 160 kills. These noble fighters have paid for themselves as well. They're just very good units. So this is pretty much where the battle is actually wrapping up, because Taniwala pretty much has this battle in the bag. He's going to get a rear charge on that general with the Hippeus Lancers, and he got like 20 kills instantly. Alright, so I figured I would just use my mercenary Gallic Hunters to get some rear charge, but then I decided it's probably a bad idea. I would like mess up my morale from routing units. Anyway, over here, the Axe Warriors are getting taken out by but the Noble Fighters aren't doing that great either. They're wavering, and they're losing. And over here, Taniwala pretty much has just, destroyed this guy. Those Silver Shield Swordsmen are hanging on, though, that's for sure. They're losing, they're being attacked from, like, both sides, and they're steady. So, how many? Only 80 kills. Those guys did not pay for themselves. Neither did those or those. So, bringing elite units, like, just only having your army for elite units is not exactly a good idea, because it gives your opponent, who might have brought lower quality infantry to the battle, the numbers advantage, which will cause them to be able to flank around and just get a ton of rear charges. And these Silver Shield Pikemen did okay. The Silver Shield Swordsmen did awful. Let's look at my opponent. The Noble Fighters did just a great job. It was a good idea to bring those, but he brought Sacred Band when he probably could have brought like 3-4 Libyan infantry in place of those. And he upgraded his units, one Bronze Chevron, when he probably could have gotten still another Libyan infantry. So yeah, just don't bring like entirely elite infantry heavy armies unless you're playing on like an ultra funds battle. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up this battle. As always, this is Trudon, and I'll see you guys next time.